What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy C-Dub, aka Whit, coming at you guys with another CBR CARSON Cat 4 commentary. CBR, California Bicycle Racing. And right now you see we're sitting at the starting line and the whistle just got blown. You see there to the clock to the right, 39 minutes of racing to go. But this video is actually 33 minutes and 11 seconds long. Hey guys and gals, thank you for clicking the vid. Right now, again, we just came through the start and we are coming upon turn number 1. I ask that you guys and gals would go ahead and hit that subscribe button down at the bottom and become a part of the Whit Roadrunner family. So again, usually, as I always say, the first lap is everybody just kind of figuring out, their lines with the group, as well as kind of getting their jitters out. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, there is no data at the bottom of the screen, excuse me, and that is totally my fault. And the reason why is because I had set up on my Garmin for it to do automatic start, which it kind of identifies you're moving if there's anything more than 6 miles an hour. But for some weird reason, it did not engage upon the start of this race. So I believe roughly just after we've complete lap number 1, I will realize that I am not having any data on the computer, and I will push that button. So right here, we're coming up on turn number 4, and we just went up a little 3% roller. That 3% roller is a good little hit, and it does take a little bit out of your legs. And you guys will see once my wattage pops up on the screen that I put out well over 600 watts, even upwards to 800 watts at times on that little 3% roller. So we just finished 1 lap. So right now, everything's kind of getting figured out. We got guys up at the front working. You see a guy going through turn 1 now. So we got a little bit of a breakaway right there, but nothing too threatening right now due to it's still early in the race, and we have a little bit of ways to go. So currently sitting in on this guy's wheel, and I am going to try to get the name listing or the results page for the next commentary. I literally just remembered about that, to have that in front of me when I do these commentaries. So hopefully I can see these guys' bib number and actually call them by name versus by kit. You got Isaac right there going on the inside with the black sheep kit on. He's kind of going inside a little bit, and now we're coming up on turn number 3, and this is that 3% right here. We got Gamma right in front of me. This is Gamma right here. He usually was wearing the yellow jersey. That's Isaac right there to his right. Behind me, I just met that guy in the white kit. I can't remember your name, man. I'm so sorry. I know you're gonna be mad at me next time you see me, but just put it to my mind, not my heart. So now we're coming up on turn number 4, and we are headed to complete lap number 2. And in this race, I had 3 goals. The 3 goals were to, there's Irvin, excuse me, with the UFC on his bibs. And so my 3 goals were: 1, to finish. The second goal was to go for a cash preem. And the third goal was to actually come into the final turn in the top 10 slot, especially knowing that there's a climb. And there's Wesley right there in big orange, right in front of me with the orange, gray, and black kit. And so those were the 3 goals for this Cat 4 California Bicycle Racing Criterium. And so we're moving. Now we finally have some data at the bottom of the screen. So you see I'm moving about 30 miles an hour with 98 revolutions per minute. My heart rate is at 170, and currently just kind of free wheeling it right now. There's no watts, there's no RPMs going, as you see a lot of people not pedaling. And that's one thing I really have tried to do a lot better at, with continuing to pedal. But at the same time, I've also realized too is that a moment of coasting does help and does benefit letting the legs kind of get a quick recovery. So right now, again, as you see, the pace slows down just a little bit on this climb. So we're going 24 miles an hour. The heart rate has dropped. I'm at 169, 170. And we got some serious cycling here. Rocking two different kits, right? I believe that's both of those guys are serious cycling. I'm not sure. But I've learned that we really have to be mindful of what these teams are wearing. So right here, I go up with this guy. I saw he was pedaling pretty hard, so I jumped on his wheel just to make pass a couple of guys and move up a little bit in the Peloton. I realized I was a little bit too far back, so I started moving up. And then this big guy right here with the LEL kit, he comes underneath me, and so I mark him and I jump on his wheel, and I believe I'm going to sit on his wheel for a few laps, just because he was a larger, he's probably 185, 190 pounds, when everybody else is roughly 160. So when I say larger guys, I'm not talking about anything over 200 pounds, which is nothing like myself. So I know I have some more weight to lose, and that's a hard feat. I got Dustin right here to my left with the neon yellow gloves on with Methods to Win. You see a little bit of him in my rear camera right there. We got Isaac coming underneath again as we go into turn 3 on this little 3% climb. And if you look at the grade, you see it's kind of a delay right here. So now we're on it. It says 0, but it's 3%. Heart rate is up to 172, 173. And so we're going 26 miles an hour. So right now, like I said, I'm just sitting in on this guy's wheel because he's giving me a pretty good draft. And just looking at his body communication, seems like everything is going good. Seems like he has strong legs. He has good position, good form. So I wasn't concerned about anything, I wasn't, I feel like if anything was going to go and he wanted to go with it, he could react really well. So I said, I'm going to just sit right here and enjoy this draft because, again, he's probably about 180, 190. And so there again, it's Dustin number 405 to my 9 o'clock now as we go through this turn. And there's James up there with the Velo Pasadena with the yellow Force socks on. And again, the beautiful thing I love about going to California bicycle racing or any racing event, whether it's a stage race, a road race, whether I'm spectating, whether I'm racing, the one thing I love about going to the races is it really is like a class reunion, a family reunion every single time, because you see your friends, especially if you're an outspoken guy, you're not afraid to meet people, a guy or girl, they're not afraid to just be friendly and show forth yourself as a friend. Once people see you, again, they typically remember who you are. And that was a pretty tight turn right there, but we made it through safely. But what I've learned is that if you just show yourself friendly, people will remember that. And then when you come to these races, they'll remember you. And then you have a friend that you can at least talk to, that you can ride with, that you can get some pointers from, so forth and so on. So I really like coming. Got guys riding up the gutter right now. Again, because they're trying to go up. I believe this was a preem lap. There were preem laps for bar points, preem laps for cash, preem laps for Force socks, preem laps for products. So there was a lot of preems given out on this day. And so I really like coming to the races because I get to see all of my friends. And I'm excited to go every time because I got guys where this may be their first race and they're just as excited about it as I am. So I really enjoy coming to the races. And if you've never come out to a race, I ask that you would look at CaliforniaBicycleRacing.org and see what local races you got going on, or even SoCalCycling.com to see if there's anything in your local area, because these events are amazing. And we're really trying to appeal more and more to family and supportive people, because again, they're standing there watching and cheering us on as we go around in circles, figure eights, L shapes, so forth and so on. And so you see right now I'm sitting close to the front so I can kind of see it, get an eye on what everything going on. And these moves that are happening, I'm not reacting to because I'm sitting on this wheel. He's not reacting, I'm not reacting, because I don't want to get caught out there like I've been caught out at like Victorville, like I got caught out in different places, in different races like that. So yeah, but if you've never made it out to a race, I really encourage you to come on out to a race. You see this guy, he's out of the saddle climbing. We got Wesley on the rear camera. I believe that's Sirius Cycling right behind me. And you know, that little hill is no joke. It taxes you after a while. So he's still out the saddle going, and I'm just staying on his wheel. I'm pushing 300, just a little bit over 300 watts to stay on his wheel, as he was probably pushing well over 500. And so sometimes some stuff like that, when you see a person coming out of the saddle to sprint, they're trying to put down more watts, and it may be because they're getting tired or whatever. And that's like a good sign of that is even climbing. You know, you can typically climb sitting, but when you have to come out of the seat to keep your momentum going, that's a good indication that you're getting tired. So seeing him come out the saddle to climb that let me know a little bit that he may be getting tired, but yet still sitting here because he was still moving and keeping up with this group. So I'm probably sitting maybe 20th spot right now, because there is a small little breakaway up the road. So right now we are on our way to turn number 3, and yeah, this race was a really good one, and this was my first CARSON of the year. So I'm really happy to have. There's Louis coming underneath me right here on the left, and he has some good YouTube footage, so check it out, his channel. I haven't seen his video post yet, but watch this. We got a preem lap going. This guy comes underneath, and I react. I respond. So I'm going. Again, this is one of my goals to go. I look over to my left, and I see Irvin. Irvin is now on my wheel. We come to turn number 3, and this guy in front of me slows down. So I go on the outside of him, and I come out the saddle. You see I'm pushing over 1,000 watts up this little hill, and I gap Irvin just a little bit. And so I see he looks kind of wobbly behind me, so it looks like he's getting a little tired. I sit down. As you see, my watts is dropping a little bit. Heart rate's up at 185. Irvin comes over the top of me. I don't know why he did that. I would have sat on my wheel if I was him, but he came over the top of me, which was perfect, allowing me to draft him. And so I hit 800 watts real quick to get back on his wheel. He's looking. I recover. He looked again, and I go for it. So you see here, I hit over 1,000 watts again, and I pull a $50 cash preem, my first preem ever. I'm super stoked about it, was super excited about it. But if you also look at that heart rate, 195 beats per minute, 196. My max heart rate is 199. I was 3 beats away, hence 3. I was 3 beats away from my max heart rate going for that $50 preem, but you know what? It was worth it. And so Irvin, I've learned, is a very strong rider, and I really have to watch for him. So you see he's pedaling now. I'm kind of cruising, coasting, no watts being put out. But he's pedaling still, and he's looking. So you see he takes an inside line right there, which means, you know, he's trying to take the shortest line, but at the same time, he's not really gapping. Like the pace right now between me and him is just kind of steady, and we're going downhill now. So he's not really gaining much. See, he's looking back. And if you look at my rear camera, there's nobody behind me. So we gapped him pretty good for that preem. So we go through turn number 3, and it's just still me and him again. We come into this climb. He's up there now. I'm starting to see the little Peloton they're chasing. They're coming up on me, and I think they're going to catch me in this climb or just after this climb. So now I'm putting out, again, almost 500 watts up this climb, and here's the group coming. There goes Peter Verth with DNA. He's wearing the green jersey right now. So you see everybody's catching us. Now I'm looking to tuck back in. I've put out over, you know, if you do it collectively, I've put out over 2,000 watts on 3 different occasions here, just for that preem. Now it's time for me to fall back in the group, tuck in. 473 right here in this yellow kit. That's Jason, aka the Social Cyclist. And so I was very excited to have been able to meet him in person. He also is a YouTuber, so go check Jason out. Again, it's Social Cyclist. And yes, he is very social, so it was awesome just being able to see him, took a photo with him, and he took a lot of good pictures of Methods to Winning and Bahati, because he is a member of, I believe, the Bahati Foundation. So right now you see I'm off the back a little bit. My heart rate is still at 181, so I'm still trying to recover. And as I've mentioned to you guys and gals in some of the other videos, I realized that a good recovery heartbeat for me is around 165 to 160. So right now I'm I'm just monitoring. Like they're not gapping me. They're not leaving me. They're still in arm's length reach, not literally, but they're not too far. So I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm good right here. I need to get back up in there so I can do some more drafting and do some more recovering. My heartbeat is not going up, which is good. And I knew that they were going to slow down on this 3% climb anyway. So I was like, okay, if I can just maintain my momentum through the turn, go through it with no brakes, I will latch back on. So as you see right now, we're going through this 3% climb or this little roller, and I am connected back to SDBC right here with Big Orange right there. And so now I'm connected back to the group, and I'm like, all right, you know, I'm connected back to the group. Now it's time to kind of move up, get back in there. So once I was able to get my body to respond and do what I needed it to do, even though my mind was ready to go, my body said, okay, hold on, brother. Give me just a little bit longer. So right now I'm just hanging on the back right here, just trying to stay in between people again, just trying to draft as best as I can to stay out of that wind so that I can get a better recovery. The heart rate's down to 177. All was well though, 26 miles an hour, we're moving. So now you see me moving up. And again, this is a turn. I've learned that the best place to move up is underneath in the turns if you know what you're doing and you have a good line to take. But so right now I'm pretty much connected back to the group again, and heart rate's at 174, but I'm connected. The miles per hour is 28, going 93 revolutions per minute, which is really, really good. And you know, I'm connected now. I'm back. I'm on a wheel, and we're good to go. So heart rate's dropping. It's at 172, so that's pretty good, you know, especially for going for a premium. You see the field right here is really swollen, and that happens a lot of times when people up front are not pulling. Nobody wants to pull through, so the Peloton swells up like this because everybody is trying to see who's going to react and take an effort. And so this allowed me really to get fully connected and even not be at the back. So you see in the rear view camera, there's guys behind me. And of course you can see in front of me, there is a plethora of people in front of me. You see right there, 443, he's with Big Orange, and he now is wearing the yellow jersey. So once I saw him, I was like, okay, he's sitting back here a little bit too, so I'm okay, I'm good, because the yellow jersey is back here. There's also a green jersey, which I named him earlier, which is Peter Verth. And I believe the green jersey is the most active rider, and the yellow jersey is the overall leader. So you see there Jason in my rear camera right there. He's going to be coming up on my left if he passes me. But yeah, he's on the left, on the right of the rear view camera right there. You just see his kit. And then I believe that may be Toyota of Big Orange in the rear camera currently. So right now, just sitting on a Series cycling wheel, and again I see 443 yellow jersey wearer of Big Orange, and I said, okay, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Heart rate is at 170. Again, right now we are at 18 minutes, and we have, again, just a little bit over 15 minutes to go. So we're halfway there, ladies and gentlemen. So again, I would ask that if you have not yet subscribed to the Crit With Roadrunner family, I ask that you would do so. I ask that you would go ahead and pause this video right here, and I ask that you would go and subscribe to the family, as well as check out my Instagram at crit.whit, and please follow me there, because you know what, I am a cyclist, and my vision statement is to actively influence and impact communities through cycling, reshaping someone's tomorrow. And so I really hope that that speaks to you, and that you will go ahead and join this family. And we're doing this together. So you see Irvin right here in front of me, and this is the guy who I went with when again, you know, he contended with me for the preem. So he's back here with me. So I'm really confident now, like, okay, I'm doing good, because I got some people that I recognize back here with me, which lets me know I'm doing all right. All is well. So you see my heart rate's at 168, 169. So I'm doing okay. And I believe this is another preem lap. So anytime in midst of the race you hear the bell, that's usually identifying or denoting that this is a preem lap, which a lot of times when that happens, the pace will pick up, and it will streamline, or a pace line will be formed, because you have guys up front going for the preem. So you see I'm sitting a well bit back, and in this race, you wouldn't believe it, but there was 70 people, 70 racers in this event right here. And I think this was the biggest event that I had done with this a large number of racers within it. So I went underneath. There's Isaac again right here with the, I believe it's called the Black Sheep. He's telling me, patting his hip to jump on, so I jump on. He moves up, and guess what I do? He moved up, I moved up. He told me to jump on with the patting of his rear, so I do that. There's James right there to my left right now. He reacts. He sees the guy coming. This gentleman right here, I can't remember your name, man. Man, I literally just looked at one of your San Dimas stage race pictures that you just uploaded and liked it. I'm so sorry. I cannot remember your name, but I'm going to get it. We're going to get that thing down. It may be West, but I'm not sure. So please don't punch me when you see me in the arm. I'm joking. But yeah, so there's so many people. I wish I could remember everybody's name. I know that the name list for me is only going to get bigger because this is a journey, and all these people here, you know, they'll soon one day be friends. And so I'm all about it. So you see Isaac, he's going forward. He's out the saddle sprinting, but he's not making much movement. You see he kind of flares his hand right there and kind of gives up. He was too far back to try to go for a preem. I'm sitting right now, I think this is Dorian. So I'm sitting next to Dorian, number 422 on my left now. And there is Fern with the SDBC kit. And he has the Peter Sagan shoes on. And he also has a very beautiful Olay Sprint with the that's black and purple. And then he's got, I believe, a KMC chain on it, which is gold. And he just accented that gold marvelously with his Envy wheels. Fern, you did that thing up, brother. So if you're watching this video and you make it to 21 minutes and 39 seconds, I'm giving you some props because that bike, that steed you have is a beauty, and it really it motivates me to want to do something crazy with mine. But right now, I see the Trek guy right here. He's moving up, so I pop out and I jump on his wheel. He would have been a good wheel to sit on. He's just smaller. He's probably about 160. You know, he's a smaller guy. And then my buddy right here to my left right now with the white jersey, black bibs. And then my other buddy right here with the other Specialized Olay Sprint right here to my 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. These guys are strong. They're just smaller riders. And so I don't get much of a draft off of them. So I have to pick the strong wheels wisely, as Yoda told me. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody's doing good. And those of you that are probably watching this at this point are on a treadmill, on Zwift, or on an indoor trainer of some sort at the gym, riding a bike. I just want you guys to know I really appreciate you. And I want to also give a shout out to all my sponsors. I want to thank JL Velo. I want to thank SEC Tech. I want to thank California Bicycle Racing. I want to thank Union Sport. I want to thank Spinergy. And I want to thank Force Try. And lastly, I want to thank Myogenics just for the love and the support, for even just considering your boy C-Dub to be an brand ambassador / influencer for you. And here, number 475 right here is Wesley of Big Orange. He's a good friend of mine as well. And again, there's James at my 1 o'clock with the right here with the yellow Force socks on with Velo Pasadena. So we're riding. I got Dustin in my rear camera on the right, and I'm not sure who the other two gentlemen are behind me. And I have to remind myself to look at that bottom left of the screen because I have two cameras. And it's so weird now riding and racing with two cameras. And when I watch videos of just the front camera, it just doesn't feel like full HD, if you understand what I'm saying. So I go underneath, and I think this is Toyota right here. And me and Toyota got into a crash in the first CBR in the I believe the Cat 4 race. Me and him crashed, and it was a good one. So, you know, you just got to be mindful of who you're around. And there's this right here is Louis right here riding for Dare. And he switches out kits every once in a while. So one week it'll be a Dare kit, then the next week it'll be some floral, beautiful kit. I got your number, brother. But I do the same thing now that I'm, you know, at all CBR events. I will be in my Union Sport kit, my black, white, and blue Union Sport kit. And then at all other races, I will be in a JL Velo kit because the love is real. So right now, we're making our way I'm not sure how much time we got left in the race, but I do know that we are coming upon 25 minutes. And so we have less than 10 minutes left in this race. So I'm going to say roughly we got 3 laps. Here's Fern right here to my right. This is Fern. Look at this bike. Look at his bike, his shoes, his wheels. I mean, that dude with SDBC, he dialed that bike in. I mean, check this thing out. If he comes in front of me again, I mean, check that bike out. That thing is gorgeous. I mean, he got the shoes with gold on them. This is Fern right here to my right. 1 o'clock. That's Fern, SDBC. I'm on his wheel right now. That dude, man, you did that bike up, bro. I'm sorry. This is the Fern show. I'm joking. But that bike is beautiful. I think he even got some love from Envy or from Specialized on some pictures that he posted on Instagram. But that bike is beautiful. But this is Lewis in front of me. So now I bumped to the outside a little bit because we came up and they slowed down. So we came up and I see Ron Tello behind me. He's active behind me in the rear camera with Dorian, as well as Lewis. So we're starting to come up on the finish because now it's starting to get sketchy. And that's one thing that I've learned too. So if you're watching this, you've never done a race, as you get closer to the end of the race, everybody then starts to kind of jock for position. Everybody's, we're bucking for position. We're trying to hold wheels. People want to get in. We don't want to let people get in. This is really test your fitness and your awareness, because you got to be aware of your surroundings. And that's when I crashed. I literally, on January 20th, in that race, we made it 40 minutes, pretty much 39 minutes. And we crashed between turns number 2 and 3 in the last lap. So you have to really, this is the yellow jersey, the green jersey where, so right here I'm passing on my left, that's Peter Verth of DNA Cycling. A good guy, strong guy who loves to go up the road. So he's strong, so strong. He's so strong. And there's one commentary video, I think my first one, I was sitting on his wheel, maybe the 4 or 5 race. I was sitting on his wheel and he went for it, and that was my first taste of attempting to go for a premium. You got this serious cyclist guy riding in the gutter, and you see him braking and stuff because that curb will get the best of you. So right now I'm sitting in good position. I'm actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm about 7. I'm about 7th wheel, 7th or 8th wheel, and you see the group split. So I was going to go inside, but then I chose to come outside, and then the groups come back together. So I'm in a little bit of a wind right here, hitting over 500 watts, sitting on Fern's wheel. Got Louis on my wheel. Got Peter Verth back there. You got this SC Velo guy. He comes flying through, which was totally fine. There's Conrad McGurry right there with SDBC with the blue bike with the white helmet. So I know that number 423 right here. I know he's a strong rider. I know he also is a sprinter. And so where he is right now, I'm like, okay, I'm good. So you got 2 teammates right here. You got Fern, and then you got Conrad. So I said, if I'm sitting in a good place, I'm in a good spot because I know that Conrad is a sprinter. Now having the rear view footage, I see that Peter was sitting behind me, and we kind of surged right here. So you see how we kind of sped up a little bit, and then there was a gap, and then the group kind of reacted and closed it back down. And so, yeah, we're getting close. You got Dorian, and then you got Gamma. So I also saw this here. I'm like, okay, so now you got teams up here trying to form. There's Peter, Green. So everybody's bucking for position now. So what I do is I jump on Gamma's wheel. And why did I jump on Gamma's wheel? Because I know they consistently do this and consistently execute. They consistently do lead outs. They consistently line up when it's coming to the end, and they consistently execute. So all these other people are moving around. Everybody's, again, jockeying for position and I'm trying to sit on Gamma's wheel. And so you see it's getting tight. And of course, there's Toyota next to my right. He's right there at my 1 o'clock. And me and him crashed in a situation like this. So I slowed down. And because I slowed down, I lost that wheel. But I look, and so there's my opportunity to get back on Gamma's wheel, so I do it. So I get back on Gamma's wheel. Now, to speak about me letting that gap go, I would rather finish a race than crash out. Messing up shifters, messing up bike, hurting myself again, having to go get some more Tagaderm. I would rather just stay safe. So that's why I backed out of that. But as you see here, I lose Gamma's wheel again. Now we got Irvin just touching the guy's hip, let him know he's on the inside. And that's one thing that even, not Irvin, but Isaac, he was telling me, he said, we cannot be fearful. We got to let people know where we are in these races. So one thing I've learned is that you can learn a lot from anybody. in these races. They're out here, they're doing it, they're on 2 wheels, they're trying to keep rubber side down. If they got anything positive to say, you should listen, because you never know, it could be something that you can use or share with somebody else. I think this right here may be the second to last lap or the last lap, because we're at 30 minutes, so we got about 3 more minutes left. And so there's Ron Tello right there with the black PRT kit with the yellow helmet on. I know that's a strong wheel to follow as well. So I'll lose some spaces here. I still can see Gamma and Dorian up in front of me. I still can see Isaac. And I got my man coming underneath me right here. And so I said, all right, what am I going to do? You know, I got Dustin behind me. Can't see who else is behind me, but here we go. We got the yellow jersey wearer. So I'm like, okay, I'm not doing too bad if the yellow jersey's in front of me. You know, he's overall leader. So I said I can sit here on his wheel, not moving too far out to the left, though, because I do not want to be outside because people will come underneath you, like just what just happened. But I said if I'm sitting on yellow jersey's wheel, I'm doing all right. All is well. We're going to be okay. So he goes underneath, and I'm out the saddle sprint. I'm hitting 1,200 watts to make it up this hill. You know, 800 watts, 500 watts, hitting some big watt numbers to make it up this little hill because the tempo is up. We're going 27 miles an hour. My heart rate's at 182, and now I'm coming up, and it's starting to be going into a turn. So I have to, you know, find my position, and so I jump on James's wheel. So now sitting on James's, well, kind of sitting on James's wheel, but you know, we're coming up. But this may be final lap, so hold on, let's listen. This is final lap. So this is bell lap right here. This is it. So right now we're at 31 minutes and we have a 33-minute video. So I pop underneath and I try to pull up on to get on James' wheel. So you see you got the yellow jersey, you got Ron Tello, you got James. So all strong riders. You see James went gutter, pushed Ron. Ron kind of took the outside line. I don't think he really pushed him, but Ron just tried to stay safe by bumping out a little bit, which, you know, to each his own. I'll leave it at that. And so got Toyota to my left, 429. I know that wheel, so I say better be safe than sorry. So I stand on James' wheel. Here's Ron to my left, and so now we're here's some bucking. You know, everybody's trying to hold position and trying to close down the inside. So I jump on Ron's wheel because I know he's a stronger rider. Well, with this little gap right here, I was not going to be able to squeeze through that successfully earlier with James right there. So I got James on my inside. He comes underneath me. And so I got to let him go because, again, I'm not trying to be in a cat crash. So, again, me being a bigger rider, they gapped me a little bit on this climb. I'm, again, hitting over 1,000 watts again on this climb, going up it. And I'm, you know, it's, again, 70 people in this race. And I'm a big boy. So sitting on James's wheel, Ron pulls up the way. Some of the other guys, Peter goes up the way right there with the green jersey. We get one of the guys comes underneath me who I identified as a strong rider. You saw James right there just go gutter. Sitting on James, again, I think I hit maybe 900 watts here, or, you know, in the first initial sprint. And I realized at this point, it's no need to sprint, no need to try to do anything crazy, but just finish. So ultimately with this race, guys and gals, I got 30th of 70. So still did good. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. On to the next one with your boy, C-Dub, a.k.a. Crit Whit. Peace.